What's up, residents? Jacob here. The King Kong franchise is no stranger to lots of terrifying and horrifying beasts, some of which we get to see in the movies, and others either never make the final cut or have their scenes deleted altogether. In the world of Kong Skull Island, there was one beast that was set to have a rather intense part in the movie: the giant white tiger, otherwise known as the Icarus tiger. This creature has the body of a typical tiger, but much larger and monstrous. A mighty predator that stalks the lush forests and swamps of Skull Island. In the recent bit of promotional material that was revealed for the graphic novel prequel stories to Godzilla vs. Kong, you can see one of these tigers who appears to have met an untimely death at the feet of the Great Kong. As of right now, this is the only official image of the Icarus tiger within the MonsterVerse, and there is only one mention of the creature within the book version of Kong Skull Island, where Conrad notices a set of tracks that appear to come from a giant feline. But nothing more ever comes from this. Originally, the beast was set to have an important scene in Kong Skull Island, one that would set up the remaining events of the story, and this scene would have not been for the faint-hearted. Before we get into the details, make sure to like this video and let me know your thoughts on the white tiger down in the comments so the YouTube gods will help share this fantastic deleted creature. So let's get to it. John Gattens, one of the writers for the film, described how this scene was supposed to go down in a segment of the Art of Making Kong Skull Island book. This is what he said. The characters had landed on the island and spent the night on the beach before they traveled inland. They sit around and drink beer by a fire and sing sailor shanties. Fire! Fire! Fire down below! I just loved it, but it was kind of tangential to having to get to the meat of the matter. In the morning after this night, two saber-toothed tigers come out of the jungle and sniff around the camp. Someone says, "Don't shoot and they'll go away." But the guy takes the shot and kills one. They were a pair, a male and a female, and the other one just goes nuts. It kills the guy who took the shot. It's like the inciting incident of a war, a kind of harbinger. You're in a place you don't know, and now you've awakened more than you know. It was the first indication that we're not in a normal place. There's no such thing as a saber-toothed tiger, but this thing is enormous. So that was the whole scene there, described by the writer himself. I love the story of Kong in all its variations, and one thing that particularly gets me is how each of the Kong movies takes a group of travelers, soldiers, and ragtag blokes and throws them into this grand adventure full of touching camaraderie moments. But also has times where these characters get to see their best buds ripped in half right in front of them. I'd like to think most of us have sat beside a fire with our friends and just had a proper good time, just like the crew was intended to do originally in Kong Skull Island described in this scene. Then you bring in these two terrifying super tigers and you see how quickly a good time can turn to a stressful scenario where life and death come into play. Showing this interaction between modern men and these isolated beasts would have added something to the film in my opinion. Showing how the decision for just this one individual to shoot and kill one of the tigers not only got him ripped apart by the tiger's mate, but also how he alone awakened the heart of the island to get rid of these invaders. So anyway, why was this scene with the tiger cut? I scoured the internet for hours looking for a proper explanation, but I couldn't find any other official reasonings for its deletion other than what the writer who described this scene, John Gattens, had said. Quote, "I just loved it, but it was a bit kind of tangential to having to get to the meat of the matter." More or less, tangential means that something was too far off tangent or straying too far away from the ultimate goal of the story, which in this story is showing Kong and how these people would react to him and how they would get back home. The campfire scene and the follow-up of this encounter with the tigers would have been great, but you can assume it was cut due to it taking time away from the focus of the story. This scene would have been intended to showcase how the humans were causing a terrible chain of reactions that would have severe repercussions. But in the end, the people behind this movie decided the bombing test scene was enough to show this point in the story. And sadly, we never got to see this amazing creature on the big screen, at least for now. The reaction from fans of monsters and the MonsterVerse films have mostly expressed interest for the great white tigers of Skull Island, and many would love to see more of this beast. We will hopefully get our chance to see more of this predator in the King Kong graphic novel set to come out later this year if everything goes to plan. We don't really know for sure. So what do you guys think about this scene? Should it have been kept, or do you think it was the right choice to leave it out of the movie? Let me know in the comments. For more videos like this, subscribe to the channel and hit the damn bell. You can also feel free to leave us a like and share this video with your friends. As always, this has been Jacob, and peace out everyone.